Going on, y'all? So you remember I was trying to figure out what 6 books I was going to read for this year, for 2022. So I showed you the 15 new books that I have, and trying to figure out which 6 I was going to choose to read for this year, which was very hard to choose. So, but I did choose my 6, and I'm going to share with you all what the 6 books I'm going to read will be. So, in general, how I typically choose books is, of course, if I look at the cover, if the cover seems interesting, of course, if the blurb is interesting, and then usually I'll try to read like the first few pages to see if it's anything that I might be interested in. And from those things, you can kind of get an idea about how you may feel about the book and if it's something of your interest that you want to partake in reading in. I try not to read the reviews because everybody has their own perspectives and thoughts about certain books, and it may not align with my experience with reading a particular book. So how I choose this cover, I'll read the blurb and I'll read the first couple of pages to really determine if I'm in fact interested. So I'm gonna quickly share with you the 6 that I've chosen, and I'll probably read the blurb a little bit in the book, so, but not, I won't do anything that takes too long. So the first book I chose as one of the 6 books is Perfect Peace by Daniel Black, and this is what it looks like. And the blurb says, when the 7th child of the Peace family named Perfect turns 8, her mother, Emma Jean, tells her, bewildered daughter, you was born a boy. I made you a girl, but that ain't what you supposed to be. So from now on, you gonna be a boy. It'll be strange at first, but you'll get used to it. And this be over after a while. From this point forward, Perfect's life becomes a bizarre kaleidoscope of events. Meanwhile, the Peace family is forced to question everything they thought they knew about gender, sexuality, unconditional love, and fulfillment. As you can see, this is going to be a very interesting book. It sparked my interest, of course, the cover, but more so the blurb regarding this parent's choice to have their child, who was in fact born male, live their life as a young girl. So can't wait to get into that. Then I have Cicely Tyson's Just As I Am, which is her memoir. So of course it's all about Cicely and her experiences and her growing up, her upbringing and industry. So I look forward to reading about Cicely Tyson. So this is the second book of 6. The next book is The End of White Politics, How to Heal Our Liberal Divide by Zelina Maxwell. And so I also try to sometimes read maybe one political based book and maybe one autobiography or memoir. And so this is the political based book that I'm going to read. And it's about the end of white politics. It's about confronting not only Americans' blind spot for centering whiteness, angrily attacking anyone brave enough to point it out, but also understanding that the America of the future does not look like a whites-only club. So, and I'm sure there will be other key moments in this particular book here. The next book, which is the 4th of the 6, is Dominicana by Angie Cruz. And you see the cover here. This is really cool. I like the way the cover looks. And the blurb is 15-year-old Anna Concession never dreamed of moving to America the way the girls she grew up with in the Dominican countryside did. But when Juan Ruiz proposes and promises to take her to New York City she must say yes. It doesn't matter that he is twice her age or that there's no love between them. Their marriage is an opportunity for her entire close-knit family to eventually immigrate. So on New Year's Day, 1965, Anna leaves behind everything she knows and becomes Anne Ruiz, a wife confined to a cold sixth-floor walk-up in the Washington Heights. Lonely and miserable, Anna hatches a reckless plan to escape, but at the bus terminal, she is stopped by Cesar, Juan's free-spirited younger brother, who convinces her to stay. As the Dominican Republic slides into political turmoil, Juan returns to protect his family assets, leaving Cesar to take care of Anna. Suddenly, Anna is free to take English lessons at a local church, lie on the beach at Coney Island, dance with Cesar at the Abdon Bon Ballroom, and imagine the possibility of a different kind of life in America. When Juan returns, Anna must decide once again between her heart and her duty to her family. So this sounds like a love story, along with some other things happening, especially as they reference Dominican Republic and the political turmoil and the reason for these characters being in New York City. The fifth in the pack of six, Life After Death, Sister Soldier, New York Times bestselling author of The Coldest Winter Ever, which every young Black girl has read The Coldest Winter Ever. Growing up, I still own it. It's up there somewhere. And so of course I had to follow up and find out what happened to Winter 20 years ago, like 20 years after her incarceration. Spoiler alert, but you should go read The Coldest Winter Ever. And so I wanted to catch up with that character and see what was going on. And I'm so glad Sister Soldier followed up. So this is actually the first one I'm going to read out of the six. So I'm not going in any particular order. And then the last is The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dahlia Harris. And this is what this cover looks like. I like the way it looks. Very pretty. And so the blurb reads, 26-year-old editorial assistant Neela Rogers is pretty tired of being the only Black girl at Wagner Books. So of course she's excited when Hazel Mae McCall starts working in the cubicle beside her. Born and raised in Harlem, Hazel exudes the confidence and charm that Neela has never quite possessed. But they've only just started swapping emails and natural hair care regimens when a string of unsettling events causes Neela to become public enemy number one and Hazel the office darling. And then the notes start to appear on Neela's desk. Leave Wagner now. Neela can't believe that Hazel's been leaving the notes. Despite her crude code switching and competitive vibes, the new Black girl doesn't seem that hostile. But as Neela begins to spiral, obsess, and ultimately uncover the sinister forces at play, she risks losing much more than her career. So that's The Other Black Girl. So these are the 6 books that I have decided to read this year. I'm not reading them in any particular order, except that I know for sure that I'm reading this one first. I am wrapping up one of my books from last year, which is Stand From the Beginning, which if you've ever seen Stand From the Beginning, it's a thick book. And I'm almost finished. I'm in the last chapter. Once again, the reason why I only read 6 books is because it gives me at least 2 months to read one book. So each book gets 2 months to be completed and read, because life happens. It's slow, either things slow down or you don't have the energy or the time to read and things of that nature. So I give myself a cushion because I do want to complete and read all 6 books. So those are my 6 books. I hope you, if you haven't read them already, go check them out and give them a read. And if you have read them and I post this video, do not tell me your thoughts about them yet, because I want to indulge in them for myself and see what it's like. I mean, I guess you can tell me if you liked it or not, but I do want to indulge and see what they are like for myself. So until next time, there won't be any book reviews. I just know that these are books that I'm going to read, and you can look at my Instagram just in case I post anything about them. And what else? And that's it. So until next time, if I get new books, I'll let you all know about it. But until next time, the next 6 books won't be until next year. So see you then. Well, see you before then, but I will show you those books, whatever those books are, soon enough next year or by the end of this year. All right. See y'all later. Bye.